Welcome to the Affordable College Prep presentation. Go get that scholarship. If you don't, someone else will. Our intent here is to point you in the right direction for the scholarship process. Before we begin, just a little background. Companies and organizations give a lot of money away in the form of scholarships. In fact, it's billions of dollars are given away to help students just like yourself pay for college. They do this for many reasons. There are financial reasons why they do this. But I would say most notably, they really want to be good citizens. They want to stand out amongst their competition, and they want to be helpful to the community. Well, what are these companies? Who are these companies? Here's a thought. Next time you go to the mall, look around. Look at all the companies you see there, the different businesses, the food businesses, the retail businesses, the shoe stores. I'd be willing to say that many of those companies have foundations that give away a lot of scholarship money. And the money is there for you as the student. It's there for you. You just have to go and get it. It's your job. And so you may be saying now, Dr. Seidman, I'm in. I'm ready to go. Let's go. How do we get started? What do I do? Well, obviously, you find the scholarships and then you apply. That's the process. Understand there are large scholarship awards and there are small awards. Don't discount the large awards. If you get a lot of money, that's good. But it might be more advantageous to you to pursue the smaller awards. There might be less people competing for those smaller scholarships. There's no limit on the number of scholarships you can apply for and receive. So rather than a large scholarship, think about receiving several smaller scholarships. That's fine too. Important, you have to take a step back and think creatively about what scholarships you can pursue. So there's some good creative thinking here, okay, about the scholarships that you can apply for. Don't look at it narrowly. You can look at it in a broader sense. And also remember, not all scholarships are merit-based. So not all scholarships are there for the A students. B students, C students, there are scholarships for you as well. I think the more you look into this, the more surprised you'll be by the variety of scholarships that people can take advantage of. So let's start thinking about where you can find a scholarship. And let's start with the obvious. Do you have a job? Well, often the place where you work is a company that gives away money in a scholarship. Do you or your family belong to any groups or organizations? Maybe your family belongs to the Lions Club or another type of fraternal organization. These groups give away a lot of money in scholarships. Do you volunteer anywhere? Perhaps you volunteer at the local hospital or a local museum or a local institution of any type. Often, these places give scholarships away too. Any hobbies you have that stand out other than maybe video games? Do you collect anything? Do you collect stamps or coins or anything that's interesting? Maybe you travel a lot. Again, look at your hobbies because the companies that are involved with your hobbies might give money away in scholarships too. Think about the businesses in the town or city where you live. Hey, do you live in the same town as your mall? Walk around the mall. If you live in Mainville and the mall is in Mainville, you might have an advantage applying for one of their scholarships because you're a local consumer for their business. So how? Okay, you've got your list. You're writing this down. How do you do this? Well, we're going to talk about that in just a second. I'm going to guide you through what the process is. But before we do that, let's take another step back and look at organizations that might be less obvious to you. Think about the job or career you would like to have. Think about the companies, the businesses that are involved with that line of work. They might give scholarships away. And within those companies, there might be trade groups that are large and have foundations and give money away too. So give that a think. Inquire with the college you plan on attending. Talk to your financial aid people. Really inquire about scholarships and anything that might be available to you. Think about the state where you'll be attending college. They might give scholarship money for you as well. Write the state capital. Write the local politicians. See what's out there. Hey, do you have a favorite sports team? Any sports fans out there? I bet if you looked into it, your favorite sports team might give money away in a scholarship I bet you didn't know that. What about music artists or celebrities? A lot of these large stars create foundations and they give money away too. Well, who better to receive it than a super fan? Someone who really knows the celebrity and can have a real advantage when they apply. You have a favorite food or a restaurant you like to eat at. Suppose you like zucchini. Well, the zucchini board might have a scholarship that they give away to people that enjoy their product. You have to look into it. Or is there a restaurant you like to eat at? Particularly if it's a big company. These restaurants give money away too. If you're a good consumer of something, you have an advantage. Is there a store you like to shop at? Again, think of the local mall. Think of online shopping where you like to go. Inquire about a scholarship from them. And finally, do you stand out demographically? Perhaps you are a minority, such as you are from Hispanic origin. Perhaps you are an orphan, or perhaps you are a twin. Think about how and if you stand out demographically, and then inquire about scholarships that are there for you. And before we move on, don't forget to look for the obscure. You would be surprised at what you find. Are you tall? Are you short? Are you left-handed? Do you have red hair? There might be scholarships for you. You never know. Think creatively. Really think creatively. Look this up. Find unique scholarships, quirky scholarships. Study it. I bet you will find something, and you don't necessarily have to have an A average to receive it. Knowing the companies or organizations that might have a scholarship for us is a great start. But now let's do the next step, and let's start looking. What do? Of course, we start with Google, don't we? But in your Google search, include the word scholarship or award or foundation. That will narrow things down and move the process along a little quicker for you. Social media is another great place to find scholarships. Twitter feeds are filled with scholarship opportunities. Facebook sites are dedicated to scholarship opportunities. So most of us are on social media in one form or another. Take advantage of this and start dedicating more attention to the sites that tell us about scholarships. There are also dedicated scholarship websites that are quite good. What are they? I'm not going to tell you. You have to find that for yourself. I'm not going to give you everything. But they're quite good, as I said. They update regularly, so they tend to be current. And they also offer scholarships locally and internationally, if those of you that want to study overseas. And also, they have scholarships for undergraduates and graduate students as well. Hey, books are another great way to find scholarships. Any of you still go to a bookstore? I do. I'm older than you and probably a lot crustier than you. And I've been to a lot of bookstores over the years. I still go to bookstores. And what I like to do is I'll go to the back of the store. I find the education section. And I know it gets a little boring back there. It gets a little tough. But in the education section, they have books dedicated to scholarships. And they're excellent. They give the scholarship, they give the web address, they give information on the scholarship, and they give the actual physical address on how to get more information. So go to your bookstore, take advantage of that. Or if you don't like to go to the bookstore, if you want to shop on Amazon or an online bookseller, hey, that's good too. Limit your search to scholarship. You'll find great books. You can take advantage of that. Also, your local school resources can be quite helpful as well. Your guidance counselor in high school has scholarships. Your department chairperson in college often has scholarships. Now, I was a chairperson for many years, and I will tell you that many scholarship opportunities came my way. And I distributed as many as I could to students, but sometimes things got busy, mail got too much, and I didn't get them all out like I should have. So you know what you should do when you're in college? Knock on the door of your college chairman or chairwoman, say hello, introduce yourself, start talking a little bit about scholarships. Make him or her look through the files and see if there are any old scholarships around that they could share. Your guidance counselor as well. Introduce yourself to the guidance counselor. Make him or her go back and see if there are any scholarships that they forgot about that they can give you. Your teacher is another great source for scholarships. And your librarian. Librarians are an underutilized resource. They have a lot of knowledge, and they'll have scholarship information for you as well. So you have your application now, and you're ready to start. You're ready to start. What you need to do before you begin is important. So hang in there and pay attention. First, you want to make sure you're eligible. The scholarship application will list the eligibility, might be a junior or sophomore, whatever it is. Make sure you are eligible to receive it before you start doing the work. And check the deadline dates. That's important. Put it in your phone. Know when to send the application in. Don't be late. That's not good. Now think carefully about your application, particularly the essay. In almost every scholarship I've seen, it requires a student to write an essay. So give a lot of thought to this. Why you to begin with? Why do you think you should get this scholarship? What makes you stand out? What makes you different or special? In talking with students over the years, I've helped a lot of them with their essays, and we focused on this, and it has been quite effective for them. What makes you distinct? Why should you get the award and not someone else? So think carefully about that. Be honest. Don't lie. They can spot that when you lie. You want to be honest. You want to be open. You write the essay. Thinking of things that the application committee can find, that's when they think you did not write the essay. If the essay looks too good, they might say, I don't think this high school student or this college student wrote the essay. So understand that. Don't have someone else write it for you. That probably won't be effective. You write the essay. That's the purpose. But have someone proofread it. Have a teacher, maybe a librarian, a family member, have them look at it before you send it. So you want to make sure that you're sending something fairly well written, honest about yourself, and easy to read. So spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes really hurt your cause. As you begin this process, don't forget resources are everywhere. Now, some resources you can pay for. Obviously, you'll pay for a book, but there are also paid advisors out there who will help you with this process for compensation. Well, that's up to you. Many of us simply don't have the money to dedicate for an advisor, and you know what? You can do just fine bearing down and doing it on your own and taking advantage of the free resources that we've mentioned: the library, the web, social media, your guidance counselors and chairs and teachers, and you and your family. And if you keep doing scholarship applications, you'll get a lot of experience with yourself, and that will be very helpful to you. And finally, you're probably asking, well, when do I start? Hey, when you start? Right now. That's when you start. Right now. If you're in high school, you can start looking. If you're already in college, it's not too late to start looking. And don't forget scholarships if you're pursuing graduate school. Keep in mind, this process takes time. Look at it like a part-time job. You've got to take a step back. You have to understand this. You know it's going to take time. Make sure you dedicate the time and your brain power to do it effectively. That's important. Know that going in. Manage your expectation. And in a previous presentation, I left you an example which said if you spend 10 hours on a $500 scholarship and you got it, that's the equivalent of making $50 an hour at a part-time job. That's pretty good money. So think about that again. 10 hours on a $500 scholarship is the equivalent of getting paid $50 an hour. I'll take that. So go get that scholarship. And if you don't get it, someone else will. No reason it can't be you.